Well, hello to Al, and welcome to the first lesson of Unit 3. Now we're going to start off our unit on measurement with perimeter and area of circles. So our learning goal today, I can successfully determine the perimeter and the area of circles when given real-world applications. So we're going to go over what perimeter and area of circles are to start with, and so I'm going to take my handy-dandy highlighter here. And we're going to start with what the perimeter of a circle is. So the perimeter of a circle, another name for that is circumference. And so we're going to look at this. This says cherry pie is delicious. That's just a way for you to remember how to find the circumference of a circle. The C in cherry stands for circumference, and then pi and D for delicious is the diameter. Now the diameter of the circle is this thing all the way across the circle. So we need to know the distance across the circle in order to find the circumference. And the circumference of the circle I'm going to highlight in yellow is all the way around the edge. Now the area of the circle, this here, apple pies are too. So we've got apple standing for area, pi, and pi again is a constant in here. It stands for 3.14, and I'll write that down in a minute. And then we need two r's. R to the exponent 2 actually means r times r. So we could also write this as pi times r times r. So apple pie r2, two r's. Okay. Now, just remember that pi is that special number. You've probably seen it before. Pi stands for 3.14. Now, the radius of the circle is only half of the circumference, half of the diameter, I meant to say. So this is the radius. It only goes halfway across the circle. So here's what we have. We have a formula for finding the distance around, all the way around, that's the circumference, and we have to multiply it by the diameter, so we will need 2 of the radiuses if we're given the radius. And the area, we have to multiply pi by r by r. So let's do a couple of examples now. Now, first off, you will notice that we're given the diameter on this one. And if we're given the diameter, we probably are going to need the radius at some point in time too. So we might as well find the radius right now. Since the diameter all the way across is 7, halfway across will be 7 divided by 2. We got to split it in half, which is 3.5. So we've got half of the diameter is the radius. Now here's our two formulas. The first one, circumference equals pi d. Now we know that pi is 3.14, and this in here, there's an understood times in between there. So we need to times that by the diameter. Now which one of these two is the diameter? It's the one that goes all the way across, remember? So we have to do 3.14 times 7. So I'm going to pull up my calculator, and we're going to clear that out, and we're going to go 3.14 times 7. And get our answer. So 21.98. 21.98, and that's the distance around the circle. And since this was given in centimeters, we're going to write centimeters after that. Okay. Now we have to find area. Area equals pi r squared, which is pi times r times r. So from here, we need pi, which is 3.14. And our radius is 3.5. We found that for a reason. So times 3.5 and then times 3.5 again. We need r squared. So now let's pull up my calculator again. And we'll clear that out. And we need 3.14 times 3.5 times 3.5. And our answer is 38.465. 38.465. Now this is in centimeters, but since it's area, and area actually covers, I'm going to take my highlighter, area covers the whole circle. So it's two-dimensional. It's not just the distance around like circumference was. We're covering the whole darn circle. So since it's two-dimensional, we have to give it a squared on our units. Okay, now the next two things that we're going to do are word problems, And since they're word problems, we're going to have to figure out, do they want us to find the circumference or do they want us to find the area? So here it says Darla is making a craft. She needs to cut a piece of lace long enough to go around the top of the can that has a diameter of 10 centimeters. How long should she cut the lace? Well, I'm going to draw this picture. I'm going to draw a can, and she needs lace that goes around the top. So we're going to put some lace around the top of the can, and it goes all the way back behind the can too. So are we talking about cutting the lace for area or for perimeter? Well, since it goes around the can and it's not just covering up the top of the can, it goes around the can, we're talking about circumference, which is the perimeter of the circle. So circumference equals pi times diameter. Whoops. Whoa. That was weird. Pi times diameter. Let's try that again. Pi times the diameter, which is 3.14 times, and the diameter in this case was 10 centimeters. All the way across was 10 centimeters. So we're going to do 3.14 times 10. Now that's a really easy one. I don't have to pull up my calculator to multiply by 10. I just have to move the decimal place over 1. So that's 31.4 centimeters. So she's going to have to cut the lace 31.4 centimeters long. I don't know why that went all weird. There's something in there. Okay. Next question. Example number 3. We used to have a swimming pool in our backyard that was 27 feet in diameter. When we took it out, we needed to buy enough grass seed to fill the hole where it used to be. How much area does it need to cover? So we've got a circle in our lawn, and this is true, by the way, that is 27 feet wide. It said diameter, so it's all the way across. Now we need to find the radius of this too. So remember, we got to split it in half. So we do 27 divided by 2, or another way of writing that is 27 divided by 2. And the answer, half of 27, is 13 and a half. So 13.5. If you need to, just type that into the calculator. So now we want to find, this says how much area does it need to cover. So we need the area formula. Area equals pi r squared. Now remember, area is 3.14, and r squared means we multiply by r twice. So this is our r, 3.14 times 13.5 times 13.5. All right, let's calculate that. Let's grab this, and we go 3.14 times 13.5 times 13.5. And our result is 572, basically 572. We're going to round it to that. 572, and that is square feet. Now going down to the next one, we just have to answer this question. This says, if a bag of grass seed covers 890 square feet, will it be enough to seed the spot on our lawn? Well, we need 572. It's going to do 890. The answer is yes, it is big enough. Now you are going to have a worksheet to complete before you move on to the next lesson.